All right. You like? Tell me when. I guess I'll do it.
Yep.
Actually have to look at my notes this time,
Ooh.
I think.
Yeah. I got some good ones.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's been a while.
Been a while. And hello and welcome to The Moon Underwater. I'm Kelly Daniels.
I am Steve Jones.
And today we have our annual meeting because this is the last recording of season 3.
Yep.
And it'll come out later sometime in the future.
Yes.
But we have decided to open up our process because we are all about transparency. We got nothing to hide. We just don't.
I mean, I got plenty to hide, just not.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Hide.
Speak for yourself.
Well, wait until some of the suggestions I've got. So the agenda. Oh, wait. Are we supposed to do take roll or whatever?
We are. So attendance.
You want to do that? Attendance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kelly.
Here.
Steve. Here.
All right. We're both here. That's good.
Both here.
I'm glad that we have had pretty good attendance so far.
100%.
100% attendance. You're
Actually,
right.
I had a meeting and you didn't show up, but I did invite you.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about doing recordings in my office. Just call them drinking alone because I just wanted to rant about something. And it would just be something that, I wanted to get off my chest. And
drinking alone, I love it.
that would have been good, huh?
Would have been
Maybe I
good.
should add that to our ideas.
It is.
So the agenda has 2 points. One is just brainstorm some ideas, some stuff that we could do for next, because we are all about improvement. You know that, right?
I'm mostly.
Assessment. So there's a committee at where I work. It's called the Assessment. It used to be called the Assessment Committee, but then they changed
the
it.
Assessment of assessing.
It's called the Assessment for Improvement Committee.
Wait, are they implying that before it wasn't to improve you?
I don't think anything would ever happen with the assessment. They would just assess, and then it would just.
That was it.
We just keep on going.
Like maybe nobody's realizing these are actually to make them better.
Yeah,
Like we're not just giving them feedback just to talk.
I don't know. That's a subject that we probably don't need to get into right now. But the assessment push, at least in higher ed, is just a complete bullshit. Bunch of waste of time.
Nice.
Because what you end up doing, you assess things that are easy to assess, but that actually aren't important.
Oh yeah.
And all the most important things are really hard or maybe impossible to assess.
What kind of grades are you giving out? Because that's what they used to do. That they used to look really hard into. Here's your average compared to the school. I remember being like, who cares? Like
they don't do that anymore.
Okay.
But
it's easy to measure.
No, assessment's not. It's not about grading at all. It's about just.
Well, I mean, it's how you're teaching. They think, right? Like,
it's
maybe you're
usually
too easy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what nobody cares about too easy anymore.
No.
Absolutely.
Isn't that weird?
There's zero incentive to be to be hard, because grading hard leads to people dropping out.
Yeah, you can't have that.
And everything is all about retention. We need that high retention rate, and the number one reason people drop out is because they're getting Fs.
Because they fail out.
Yeah, they fail out. And so there's really no incentive. Anyway, this is boring stuff.
No, this is the show.
This is it, huh?
Yeah.
It's all about assessment for improvement.
No, just showing up and
for improvement.
We're just talking about that
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the meeting is in order, right?
It is in order.
Yeah, and
I'll give it 2 dings for that.
We have our PBRs.
We do.
We have a bucket of beer.
We got a list.
We have a new stand for our recording device, aka phone.
My iPhone.
Your iPhone. It's pretty good. Does a good job.
It does.
And does Apple? They're the big sponsor of ours, right?
Huge.
That's why we mention them.
Yeah. iPhone 16 Pro.
Yeah.
On Apple.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Good job, Apple.
Right. Just so in case anybody was listening, then we'll be calling in and we'll reference this show.
Yeah.
And we talk about how we got a free iPhone.
Yeah, that's right. So,
all right, we had 2 assignments here.
Yeah.
We had to come up with some ways to make the show more interesting, and maybe that's the second thing.
Snazify it. Snazify it.
I used a word earlier to describe that, and I don't remember what it was. And then what was the other one?
The other one was merch.
Merch. Yeah. Okay. We start with merch.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
You want to go?
Let's take turns.
Do you want to go?
We each have a list, right? And we don't know each other's lists.
No.
Okay.
This should be good.
This is just brainstorming, by the way. No bad ideas.
I cannot wait to hear this.
No, what?
I cannot wait to hear this because last year I was so caught off guard. I'm like, he's gonna be.
That's true. I made fun of you last time.
Hilarious.
I didn't do it this time.
Yet?
Okay, you ready?
Not yet.
You know those sobriety badges people get when they're like 6 months?
Yeah.
We could do like parody Moon Underwater sobriety patches.
Can I tell you that one of my ideas for improving the show is try to record it in an AA meeting.
Yeah.
So we could put those two things together.
Look at this synergy.
Wow.
Synergy is
like
happening.
We had a conversation, but we didn't.
We did not.
Nope.
Wow. That is amazing.
This
so
is
you
gonna
like
be a good one.
So you like it already.
Yeah.
This is practically an action plan.
We got
to find out
an AA meeting, and then they're going to be a little upset about the beer.
They're not going to like that. You're right about that. And those badges, I'm sure we could get
down if they just had a drink.
Those, yeah. That's. And anybody out there struggling with alcohol?
Remember, smoking kills.
Yeah, smoking does kill. And that's going to come up later in my. All right, that's my number one. What about you? You got any merch ideas?
Well, I thought, what if we leveraged Augustana College and we had a whole bunch of condoms made with the QR code on them?
Yeah.
And gave them out to guys that aren't getting laid.
I love it.
Yep, because that would be just like us in college.
But also the fact that they're not getting laid, so they won't use them.
Right.
The QR code's not on the condom; it's on the packet.
Well, it could be on there too, but more than likely that would.
How about we put the QR code on the back end of the condom, so only guys with certain inch requirement will see it.
That's better because then we'll get a better crowd.
Well. Just a different kind of, we just have standards. That's all.
Right.
So, not that I don't like this bias kind of thing, but on the other hand, I don't think just anybody can be one of our listeners.
Definitely not.
You guys, by the way, all of you, all of you out there who are listeners, boy, thank you.
You are in for a treat today.
You are a VIP group. That is for darn sure.
Yep.
I like it. Okay, so the condoms. We'll have to check prices and all that.
Right.
That's pretty good. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
How about we just get like those giant boxes of PBRs, then get some Moon Underwater stickers, put the stickers on the PBRs, and then sell them for like $5 a can as our own beer. Just say it's
great idea.
Moon Underwater beer.
Right.
Just give us some money and then we'll just send it. We'll put it. Yeah, you could either show up at the
convenience store right down the street.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And right after this.
And we could get the stickers are pretty easy to get made. I understand.
I like it.
And and
all right.
So and thanks for PBR for letting us bootleg their beer and make a profit off it. But
I mean, we're getting these beers for free.
Of course.
Right.
Sponsors.
Of course. So I got one, and some of these are AI generated.
Oh,
I know, but I want to see if you can pick them out.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. Hey, man, it's all AI now. Maybe that should be one of our ideas is replace us with
that was one
AI
of my
cartoons.
ideas.
Okay. That's coming.
A toaster that burns the Moon Underwater logo onto bread.
Oh, that's pretty good.
AI.
Yeah. That's expensive, though. Like selling toasters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We could do like a collab
Yeah.
Like
we would
it's
have
like this X that. That's a collab now,
Oh, okay.
I guess.
Oh, yeah. So a toaster company.
Yeah.
Just one of the best toasters.
Cuisinart.
Cuisinart's a good one,
Of
yeah.
course.
KitchenAid, I
mean,
think,
yeah.
has toasters.
Wolf does too. They're just rebranded Cuisinart, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Right.
How about this one? Custom toilet paper with our faces on it.
Yeah.
Come on.
AI, right?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that. That's kind of gross, though.
It's terrible.
That's kind of icky.
But it is a crazy way.
Yeah,
that,
people
you know.
be thinking of
All
us
right, it's
at
your
their
turn
most tender moments.
They would.
All right. We should get... actually, this one's just a pretty good idea. We should just get a couple of kinds of T-shirts, and one is Smoking Kills.
Yeah.
The other one is Jurassic Snark, and we'll bootleg the Jurassic logo. Yeah, we'll
totally.
just,
Jurassic Snark and Smoking Kills.
And Smoking Kills. We'll have to come up with a good image for that. So that's actually pretty doable, and that would be funny.
Already. That would be very funny.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take a look.
All right.
That's a good one. Okay. Pillowcases that whisper the Moon Underwater episode summaries when you lay your head down.
Say it again. Wait.
Pillowcases that whisper the Moon Underwater episode summaries when you lay your head down. I like that one.
That one is not as plausible or as actionable as I feel like the price point might be a little much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I mean, we could
It's a
get
talking pillowcase.
China to make it maybe for cheap, but there might be
then
some.
we got to pay like 80% tariff, so it's
Yeah.
going to be like a $3,000 pillowcase.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like our listeners that they would just drop that kind of money.
I
You
would
guys
imagine.
are very
Yeah.
upper class,
Yeah.
kind of Orwell reading intellectuals, and
I like it.
tech giants.
Oh, yeah.
So no, that sounds good. So here's an Orwell one. Speaking of Orwell, actual animal farm branded animals. We'll
like
send them like goats and pigs and stuff like that, but they'll have Moon Underwater
Yeah.
like branded on them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Makes a lot of sense.
it really does. And
I like the callback.
well, and also the animals are the whole farm thing is popular now, and if the apocalypse does happen, the dystopia happens, you're already halfway to self-sustained kind of
really
off
are.
the grid living. You got
True.
some animals for your farm.
Seems like a good idea.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yes, I'm glad you see that.
All right. How about getting a doormat made that says, "Welcome, the Moon Underwater has 12 listeners."
We have more than 12
We do.
listeners, but
Yeah.
I think that's
What
pretty
fun.
good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I only have one more.
Oh, I got a bunch more.
You have a bunch? Why don't you do a couple more so we don't...
Okay. We need to get tattoos of the QR code
Yeah.
on our forehead, somewhere
Yeah.
really visible. But in order to make it work for you, we have to get you Botox.
Yeah.
Yes. Got
Okay.
him, kind of.
Botox.
Yeah, I got
I'm wrinkly.
because you're wrinkly because
Yeah.
you're old.
I get it. That's all right.
I had to explain the joke, but it was still kind of funny.
It was kind of funny. I actually got it the first time, but I wanted to make you sweat a little.
Wow. Okay, I got another one. Business cards for your mom to hand out at the grocery store. We'll get more of the
Yeah.
bookmarks made and just have your mom handing them out.
Yeah.
That would work.
That's a good idea. Are you suggesting people don't actually like business cards or...
Yes.
Bookmarks?
And that it's your mom doing this.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't remember those when I wrote this.
Yeah.
Oh, business cards. Listen to my son. He's got a podcast.
Well, yeah, that's... moms are a very important part of marketing.
See?
Any kind of marketer will tell
so
you...
you're saying this is a good idea.
Oh, yeah, that's the first thing when you're, like you have a book coming out. They're like, how popular is your mom? Does she maybe go to church? Does she, that's... Actually, I know somebody who brags about how many books he sold, and it's exact number of people that are in the church that he's really active in.
Perfect.
Yeah. And what percentage of those people read his book, I wonder. But that's a good thing about going to church. People will buy your book even if they don't want
you
it.
don't care if they read it.
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
care that they buy it.
Yeah. So you
I mean,
could say that's
that
how
part
many...
of the transaction is over.
Yeah.
You've done your part.
Yeah.
And And whether or not you read it, that's on you.
Yeah.
You might never take delivery of that, the $20 that you spent.
All right, should I do my last one?
Yeah.
I didn't save the best for last. I just wrote these in the order I thought them. I think they got worse as it went along, actually. But we're all about the dystopias.
Yeah.
So we're going to do dystopia survival kits. And just branded, though.
Oh.
Moon Underwater.
Obviously.
It'll come like a little box, and we'll figure out what you need. You have some food, like...
I don't really know.
Essentially dog food, right? It's
I think
like,
so.
Kind
It's
of
all
like
dry.
a year's worth of dog food. And some other stuff. And your contribution, they'll have a special Steve Jones pistol with one bullet in it. For who.
Yeah, exactly.
And that'll be good.
I'd make sure to keep one, don't worry.
It'll be cool to have, and also maybe useful.
Yeah, because if the apocalypse happens, I'm checking out.
Yeah.
We
know that you're not going to be the
I'm
person
not sticking around.
You're not, but that's actually really nice of you, because you're not going to be one fewer person competing for fewer resources.
Right. I'm doing everybody a favor.
You have a kind of a nice house with stuff in it too, so I'll know where to go.
Yes.
Yeah, it won't be guarded.
Oh.
It'll be.
Yeah, and Shauna doesn't know how to use a gun, so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your family. Well, everybody's got to fend for themselves when it comes down to that moment.
There's a fallback plan at some point. Yeah. Okay, I've got that for the for my stuff, like the wearables and things like that.
All right.
We talked about.
Good. Do you want to? Why don't we
let's talk about how do we make the episodes?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. But let's first do Garza's thing. I'm going to hit the wrong one, but no, I think it's the right one.
Hey folks, let's take a break. So while you're topping off your pint, we've got a quick bit of housekeeping. If you're enjoying The Moon Underwater, do us a solid. Leave us a good rating and review wherever you listen, Apple or Spotify. It really helps more people stumble into our cozy pub of books, films, and conversation. And don't keep it to yourself. Tell a friend or share the show on your socials. Speaking of, you can find us on Instagram and Threads at The Moon Underwater Pod, YouTube at The Moon Underwater Pubcast, Twitter and Blue Sky at The Moon Underwater, and Letterboxd at TMUW Pod. We're posting updates, extra thoughts, and the occasional pub-related nonsense. So join us there. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or if you just want to say hi, write us at theguys@themoonunderwaterpubcast.com. All right, back to your regularly scheduled pints and paperbacks.
Thank you, Garza. Wait, so we have The Moon Underwater on Twitter and Blue Sky?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I've never posted or seen any of it.
Those other guys, they would kill for that. That's another idea. We could sell them that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Like I'm coming up with all kinds of ideas.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were really killing it, man. This is the best episode
this is so fun.
Ever. I'm not talking about just it almost makes me feel
last year was the meeting.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, last year it was just me bagging on you and you weren't prepared. It was really great.
No.
And you were just kind of melting. It was great.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe you're going to try to take some jabs back at me. So far, I have to say the glancing blows of the merch was, the wrinkly forehead.
Right.
Let's just go for that. That's fine, man. Just
easy.
Ageism.
Just so easy.
Ageism. All right. You want me to start?
Yes.
I'll start. I don't know. How many do I have? All right. So my approach to snazifying our podcast, just rethinking things, is just to look at some of the most popular podcasts out there and just thinking, okay, you don't just take what they do and just try to...
No, you got to make it better.
You don't, or you take a little bit of you make it your own. You do the thing they're almost doing but not doing. So what they're doing but with a twist.
Okay.
So this one isn't, I don't know if this is a big podcast or not, but I keep seeing this image or these video clips when I'm just like wasting time on the phone of a podcaster named Camilla Araujo.
No idea who that is.
Camilla Araujo is, I think that's the name of her podcast, and I think it's kind of a sex and relationship young woman, and she's a very attractive young woman. She's on TikTok, big on TikTok. maybe.
Tickety talks.
And she is her. It's a visual thing that I'm going after here.
Okay.
So she has, instead of sitting at a desk or a kind of like studio setting, she's got a really nice plush sort of, it's like pink or light blue chair. It's really noticeable and it's really comfortable. And she sits with kind of perched up on it. Mm-hmm. And what one notices when one is scrolling through one's reels
Death scroll.
is her legs are spread about as wide as humanly possible, like yoga level.
No.
And she's just sitting there super chill. And she's got her microphones just kind of floating in front. She has a really nice boom stand. And she's holding forth. And the volume's not on when I'm masturbating to these things. And because, my wife's in the next room and all that. But she's sitting there and she's always wearing these like athletic shorts, like the super tight.
You're going to do it, but naked.
What I'm just saying is the podcast, I think, is her name, but it should just be called the Camel Toe Podcast.
Right.
That's
what it is.
That's what's going on. And I'm not saying that's why. I'm sure people are tuning in because of her good content.
Yeah.
But it definitely is an eye catcher.
What
So
people want is the
so
Moose
what do we
Knuckle
want?
podcast.
We can't do that. We're not women. We don't.
Moose Knuckle.
That's it. We would have a segment called the Moose Knuckle.
Yep.
Or we could just get another microphone, another camera, just to have the inset box.
Yeah.
And maybe we could even do a thing where we'll just put it on different. We won't say who's Moose Knuckle.
Right.
But we would both have to start wearing athletic shorts.
Right. Well.
But that'll be kind of our brand.
Yeah.
Like we walk on in and
it's already kind of our brand now. We just would make it official, I think.
And then we didn't. But we also have this nice new tripod. We could use the old tripod for the Moose Knuckle cam.
Ooh.
And I think that would just catch a few more eyes on the scrolling through the reels. And then they'll finally, when they listen to us, they'll think, oh, these guys are really, they're not just, cocks.
Right.
They're not just balls.
Right.
And in tight shorts. There's so much more.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, God.
Something to think about. Couple of shorts, that doesn't cost much.
You really thought about this. I put less thought into it. I love this. Because our level of preparation, I feel like I have way more here, and you have way more in your head on like the things that you wanted to talk about.
These are my notes.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
We're going to read 50 Shades of Grey, and when we talk about it, we're going to be aggressively drinking the most unglamorous beer possible.
Yeah.
And commenting on the fancy wine scenes.
Okay. So we want to just take a wine view of...
No, we're just going to complain about the whole thing, basically.
Of 50 Shades of Grey.
It's all fancy wine. And
yeah. Fancy wine.
Instead of our beer.
It's definitely porn for women. It's a rich guy is gonna turn me into a sex slave.
Really? That's what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
He's super rich and oh boy.
Oh, okay, wait. Let me do the next one because I didn't like that one that much.
Okay.
We're going to read a book, but we're going to start with the last chapter and go backwards through it.
Okay.
So we
like
start
Memento.
We start at the end and then work our way backwards till we figure out why it ended the way that it did.
That's not a terrible idea.
I know.
It's kind of fun.
I thought of Memento. I was like,
yeah.
Well, how did they think of that?
Yeah.
Like,
we could do that.
You just go backwards.
It'll be start with the spoiler and then finally get to why it's a spoiler.
Right.
I think that's good. It's actually a good one.
All right.
Okay. You can't think of successful podcasts without thinking of Joe Rogan.
Right.
So, what does Joe Rogan have that we don't?
Not $100 million from Spotify.
He has a lot of money, but he was like a B-list comedian, kind of I mean, first off, being a B-lister, everybody says that like it's the biggest insult in the world. Like, oh man, Gary Busey's like a B-lister. He still has a mansion in Beverly Hills. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think being a B-lister, but I think Joe Rogan, he was just kind of comedian that was doing.
I'm guessing easy to work with. I mean, Fear Factor.
Yeah, he was doing Fear Factor. Was his kind of just being an affable guy who can read scripts. And he talks. What he has is MMA fighting, though. He's into MMA fighting.
He is.
Now, we can't do that because it's already been done. We can't.
I know.
We'd be such posers if we...
Also, I would really suck at talking about MMA fighting.
Well, we'll have to get better at... So what I'm thinking
MMA
is not...
fighting, too, which indicates that we know nothing about...
Not MMA fighting. We need... Like I said, we go in the general direction but find our own niche.
Okay.
I used to think it was called niche, but it's niche. Niche. Our
That's
own
when
niche
they put doctor on the front of your name.
Is that doctor in the front and then comma PhD at the end?
Right.
That's the real gangster move. That's just like screaming. That's the academic version of the super lifted truck with giant tires. It's just way overcompensation. Okay, our thing will be, and we don't have to change that much about our podcast except that we'll just bring it in every episode and whenever we can. We'll become like super into that Brazilian like dance fighting.
Oh.
Where they do like, it's almost like break dancing, but they're like martial arts.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know what it's called. So we have our work to do. Capybara. Yeah, like those animals, but different.
Can I tell you that as part of a work thing, I went to a class.
Hell yeah. Yep. So that was team building.
It was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you built? Was the team built? Did you feel like you trusted your homies?
I'm just glad that I didn't. It was very tame, but it was fun.
That sounds good.
There was people that were good.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea where we were going. They just said bring workout gear.
Or how about Tai Chi?
Better.
But Tai Chi is the one that's just really slow motion, right? Mm-hmm. The old man in the park. Yeah. Let's just like we'll have episodes where we just analyze somebody's Tai Chi on video. We'll watch it and go, look at that. Look at that movie just did.
Yeah.
That's and then we'll know the names of it.
Yeah.
And it'll be like an old man in the park. And we'll do it for like 3 hours.
Oh, I like that.
And
we'll make sure not to record that day so you won't be able to see them.
Yeah.
And like if we're going to show any of the video, I don't want it.
It'll just be talking.
Watching it and talking. Like we'll put we'll use the other tripod right here.
Yeah.
And we'll play on your phone.
Yeah.
That
one of the few Rogan episodes I've seen, he was talking. They were like, and he and another bud were analyzing some MMA fight.
Oh yeah,
and he's like,
happens a lot.
See this? He does this kick here. Oh, I'm going to record it. Here.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know, man. I liked some of what I've heard on Rogan, but some of it is tedious as fuck. And so,
he says some of the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
The MMA stuff, once they go into the MMA fighting, as we were calling it earlier, which should tip off anybody that we don't know anything about MMA.
Because they don't say fighting.
They definitely don't say fighting.
They just say MMA.
Yeah, I think
MMA. Ma.
But
Let's just call it Ma. We'll be ahead of the thing. We're like, and then we'll just be really scornful for people that call it MMA. And like, you're still calling it that?
Yeah.
Whatevs.
Right.
Yeah.
They coined that on the Moon Underwater podcast. I'm not sure you
know.
That's another way to go viral.
You guys are a little behind the times. So anyway, it's an idea.
It is.
Or we could do sumo wrestling. That's our thing.
I mean, I think that sounds
be pretty
great.
Fun.
Yeah.
By the way, maybe I mentioned this before. This is one of my stock stories, but and I think I may have mentioned it when we were in L.A. Oh, L.A. We were in L.A.
Ding. Ding for L.A.
It was ding for us being there. I think it was more it. But I was there when I was young, and me and my goth girlfriend went to see this like performance. This like old beatnik guy named Jim Carroll. Jim Carroll had a great kind of rock punk band, famous song called "People Who Died." It's a wonderful song. But he is a writer too. Wrote the Basketball Diaries, which was made into a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
Anyway, we saw him do a reading, and then afterward, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was a late night thing, and we were looking for a place to have a drink or a bite, and we found a sushi place that was not just open but packed at like
That's
2
usually
in the
a good
morning
sign.
in Little Tokyo.
Yep.
And it was full of businessmen, men in full-on suits. And can you guess why they were all there?
Well, they're. No, I can't.
There was a huge sumo wrestling match, but it was 2 o'clock in the morning here because it was taking place in Japan.
Got it.
Where it was whatever, however. And so they all needed to see this great sumo wrestling thing. And they were cheering and drinking sake. And
that's fun.
And we just had our little sushi, and it was great.
That's a
we
that's
were
a
like,
really cool culture.
We were the only 2 round eyes.
In,
yeah. Is
no,
that
they
wrong
let
to
you
say
know
that?
several times?
No, they totally liked us being there.
No, they said it with their eyes, but they didn't say it out loud. I get it.
Okay. I was on the verge of just like saying some bullshit that I would have regretted. Because
it would have been the first time we cut anything.
All I gotta say, I like the Japanese people. I think Japanese are cool.
I'm dying to go.
I know, me too.
I know somebody who's
They're
there
just, like,
right now.
Good at shit. They just seem like they're just good at shit. And so anyway.
I worked on my truck this weekend.
Yeah.
And all weekend I'm like, God bless the Japanese. This thing is so easy to so easy to take apart and put it back together, and everything goes back, and it goes back exactly the same way that you took it apart, and it makes sense. I didn't put parts in particular places, taking interior trim pieces out, taking stuff off, and it all goes back together. And I've had German cars.
Yeah.
They come apart.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Getting it back together, it's never going to fit the same way.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Japanese are superior to the Germans. And I almost wish that the Axis would have won World War II, because eventually I just don't think that allyship between the white supremacist like Nazi regime
that's
and
falling
the
apart at some point, right?
and the mud races of you know what I mean?
I thought about that before. I'm like, how is that going to work?
Yeah.
Like, how do they fit into this grand Aryan plan?
Yeah.
I don't think they were.
I'm not saying I wish they would have won. I think that would have probably been bad for, we'd be speaking German right now.
Right.
Or,
but you said imagine. If
yeah.
they won.
I think it would have been interesting to see how that
tape will
went.
tell. We'll see. Maybe this gets.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good way to go viral.
Yeah. Let's hopefully.
Pubcast host says.
Yes, says he
wishes the Axis
people
powers.
say that kind of shit all the time now, though. I mean, it's so mainstream on Right of Center podcasts. Like, another guy's like apologizing for Hitler wasn't really as bad as everybody said.
Right. That's
I
not
think,
great.
Hey, Garza, when you clips, don't clip that one. And
you definitely should. Okay, I got one. I got.
Right. Yeah, let's see.
We should watch every Fast and Furious movie.
Okay.
And
I gotta say,
we're gonna have to talk about we would have to talk about like family speeches.
Yeah.
Every time there's a family speech, like I'm thinking we gotta go in depth on.
All right.
There's 9 of those movies.
Here's one of my very favorite podcasts of all time. One that inspired me to start podcasting way back when.
Yep.
Which was bad on them.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Well, it's do you?
Yeah.
Can you take a guess?
The New Zealanders?
Yeah.
Okay.
The worst idea of all time.
Yeah.
So they got paid by the Fast and Furious franchise to do exactly what you just told.
Oh.
Because they had like the latest one was going to come out, and so they just threw them a ton of money, which for them was a ton of money. For the movie was probably nothing.
Drop in the bucket. Yeah.
And they said, "Hey, just go through everyone from the one to the to the last one, and then you have to end right like the week before the new one comes out."
Another thing where they watch the same movie.
Yeah, that's why the Fast and Furious did that with them.
Okay.
And they said, "Well, are we allowed to make fun of it?" They're like, "Absolutely." Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually,
they're like, "Oh, have at it. Do as much as you can."
Because no press is bad press, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's the worst idea of all times. And the first one was that they watched the same movie once a week for a whole year.
Yeah.
And the movie was, I think, Grown Ups 2 with Adam Sandler.
Oh God,
And their hatred of it of course, grew.
I was
although
forced
they
to
would
watch
find
Grown Ups on an airplane.
they would find little things, and it's Grown Ups too.
I mean, it's that much worse.
And then they did, I think, one of the Sex and the City movies. They really hated that one, and they actually hated it enough to where it wasn't really fun.
Oh.
Like it, and then they did like an artsy one called "We Are Your Friends," which is like there was one famous guy in it, and it was just bad artsy. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm going a little too deep into that. But I love those guys.
That's
but they already did it.
Damn it.
So maybe we shouldn't do that.
We got to make it better.
We could just do it better than them.
Right. We don't got to do we got to go to another level.
I don't know your guys' names. I forgot it. I knew it for a while. I'm talking directly to the worst idea of all times, guys.
You're looking at me.
No, but
maybe we should
I'm off. Yeah. Give me a call, guys.
Right. You got his number.
Yeah. So. And you guys, of course, are always welcome to come on over to the.
And
I don't know if you could get visas to come into America, but.
You have to come on the show and.
Well, they don't have to defend themselves.
I think they do.
No, not those.
They stole my idea before I had it.
Okay.
God damn it.
All right. You guys will have to defend yourselves.
Exactly.
One of them's named Timbo. The other one's
you made that up.
Kai and Timbo. No, it's not that. I'm getting it wrong. Anyway, they're great.
What a tip of the hat.
They're
amazing. I don't remember their names.
It's been years, since I listened to the pod.
Because they retired.
Timbo and Guy.
Oh.
Guy and Timbo.
Okay.
Guy and Timbo.
Guy.
Yeah. They are. Maybe we should just listen to all their podcasts over and over and then just try to be them.
And wait, no.
And start doing
talk about all of them.
Yes. It's not a bad idea.
Get them back.
We'll listen to each one and then do
oh my God, did you catch this time what they talked about? My God.
We'll just do a critique of each episode. And they've got hundreds of episodes, so that'll take the rest of our lives.
I'm in.
We're good. All right.
All right. Well, that kind of settles it then.
Yeah. Well,
if
we
it
can.
Doesn't,
we
I
have
got more.
We still have to. All right. What's going on next?
I didn't.
By the way, that was
you were calling.
That was my
me.
Rogan.
Oh.
I think that's what I was talking about was Rogan, and somehow we went off topic a little.
Well, but we just came up with a really good idea.
I know. That's how it happens.
I know.
It's not synergy. It's something else.
No.
It's brainstorming. Is there a corporate word for it that's better than brainstorming? There's got to be a new one. What?
Synergy.
Okay, so it's two different things kind of making
you're
it even better.
Synergy storming. I'm making that up.
Okay.
Real-time book club. We'll just start reading a 500-page novel.
You've watched.
And just see how long we get. See how far along we get.
For like an hour and a half of just us sitting
Until
there reading.
Pass out drunk. Also could be done at an AA meeting.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there.
All right.
Yep.
I like it.
Okay. I got another good one.
All right, do it.
Read the same short story twice.
Yeah.
You read it, and then get drunk and read it again. And you take down notes and stuff, and then you see if there's differences in the way you read it.
Okay.
Or we start drunk and then you read it again.
All right.
Sober. Look at that.
Seems like a lot of work.
Gives you
a lot of alcoholism
gives you
too.
A chance to get drunk in the middle of the week.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta get drunk.
Like
hey, what are you doing? I'm working.
Yeah. Leave me
Throw
alone.
the bottle against the wall.
Absolutely. I figured you do that anyway because you're a writer. That's like all the depictions of writers in Hollywood.
You always have to throw a bottle against the wall when you're.
I always wondered about the drywall that they're throwing that against because a whiskey bottle's not probably going to break.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I mean,
no, it'll just go right through the drywall.
Exactly.
I think in those days when they did that, it was like they had brick walls. Like lived in.
But I think it's carried on. There's got to be.
Yeah.
We'll have to. I'm going to pay attention next time I see somebody throw a whiskey bottle against the wall. It happens, every couple weeks.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, my next one is, I don't know anything about this podcast except that it's listed as one of the most famous ones. It's called Call Her Daddy.
Whoa.
Have you heard of it?
No.
It was one that, anyway, it's up there with it's as popular as Rogan, but it's like the female Rogan and that kind of thing. And it's a sex and relationship
I have heard of
podcast. call her daddy, and
I think I know where you're going with this. There's an obvious.
But I'm thinking,
Call him mommy.
yeah,
I mean,
that's what we could have a segment of call, and then we'll do like sex and relationship advice for.
yeah.
We got to have our niche, not niche,
No.
our niche,
No, you got to say it right.
and it'll be sort of like your basic straight white guys, maybe Midwestern, who are married
Oh, yeah.
to European women,
That is.
and we'll just give advice because we've been there,
Right.
and
We've been there.
yeah,
Yep.
we have something to say.
Along those lines, one of my ideas was we would get every ex-girlfriend of yours and interview them.
Yeah, that'd be good. Great idea. One of them started writing a memoir that I appeared in.
No.
Never got published.
Oh, thank God.
I was like sweating.
Wow.
She's like, "Oh no, I treated you really well in it, but I just wanted you to know that you're." And I'm like,
Like, what? Okay, wait a minute. Now I'm gonna need more information. What are the allowed reactions to somebody telling you I wrote about you?
"Allowed?"
Yeah, like an author to another author, which is how this was.
I
I mean, you can't.
if you're an author, you.
so you
you
never want to
sorta-
say anything around authors. Is basically what.
Oh yeah, that's totally true. You kind of want to give. You want to have the latitude to betray everybody that you've ever known by making them look terrible.
And it's
in a
and
book.
it's forever, and they know that you did it. Like, there's no way
So-
out of that. That's
so-
very permanent.
So there's this really famous line by Anne Lamott, good old Anne Lamott,
Okay.
wonderful author, novelist, and writes all these books. And she's just good at turns of phrase and
Okay.
saying interesting things on interviews. But somebody asked her about, writing about the people you know.
Yeah.
And she said, you own your own stories. If people don't like the way that you depicted them, they should have been nice to you when they had the chance.
Wow. That's brutal.
It is brutal.
I like it.
But
I wish I could be like
I
that.
do believe there's some kind of libel laws. If you're calling somebody a pedophile and you don't actually have any, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you ruin somebody's reputation and it's not true.
Was she going to did she use your name?
No, she was going to use she told me she was going to use some fake name.
Okay. Well, a pseudonym, I believe.
I was just all good luck with it, and it hasn't appeared on the shelves yet. So, yeah. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't, and it wasn't the whole. I wasn't that big a part of her story, but it's just you don't want intimate shit about you being on somebody else, especially
you
somebody
do
you
it.
broke up with,
Right.
and
You did. You scoundrel.
There was sort of a she broke up first and then got back together and then we were
No.
back. But after
One of
she
those.
broke up with me, something in me kind of hardened and turned on her, and then she came back and I was like, okay, but then I never was there again.
Yep.
And then she started trying harder,
See,
and
we're
I started
so good at
liking
this
her.
relationship advice right now.
Oh yeah,
This is
that's how it
natural
works.
fit.
That's how it works.
Yep.
And
We're
so
gonna do
anyway,
all of these.
it went on that way.
Yeah.
So
Well, because you've written about ex-girlfriends.
yeah.
Did they know?
I'm trying to think. Only one, a couple, I guess. No.
Just one or two, I think.
Yeah, I didn't hunt them down. I've written about them. Oh Jesus, forgot, man. I blocked this out. So the Sun magazine,
Oh.
which I've published in,
And we've
I think
given that's might
8
be
times,
that's
9
a
times.
multi-dinger. Nice.
and they have a really strict. They've been sued before, so they're like on your ass if you write about other people, and so they make you hunt those people down, and then show them the thing you wrote about them before it goes on, and then they have a chance to comment.
What?
And I wrote a piece called "Love Your Enemies"
I gave you the ding for that
about
one.
an affair,
Okay.
and it was an affair with a woman who was officially married but separated, but it
Okay.
was messy.
Yeah.
And the degree to which she was separated wasn't I don't think the husband actually thought they were quite that separated because anyway, I wrote this story about it. And I had to like hunt her down, and it was like the breakup wasn't easy.
Did it see the light of day?
It did.
Oh, okay.
She was pretty gracious about it, and I said, "Hey, I don't."
Did
she goes, "You can do it. I don't care. I know the magazine."
Wait, did she read the whole? Did you give it to her to read?
Yeah, I had to.
Wow.
I had to hunt her down and then find her like on Facebook, and I'm like, "Hey, you probably don't really. I'm not." You know, you may not want
anything like I did.
You may not.
Got him again.
You may not want to. I don't know. It's just like, hey, I got something I need to talk to you about, and
like,
can we?
God, do you have AIDS?
Yes, that was what I was going for. And she
goes,
and so I go, hey, we can either email or maybe we could talk on the phone. I forget what we did. And I said, I've got this really great opportunity. It's a really big magazine for literature, but I also didn't want it to be so big. I'm like, it's not like the New York Times. It's like
right. You haven't heard of them,
yeah,
but
and nobody you know will have ever heard of it. But tens of thousands of people read it,
right?
And it'll be really good for my career. And it's about that time.
I've read stuff from there because I read some of yours. Yeah. But
and she was just like, hey, yeah, it's cool. Like, it's your story.
Wow.
And I said, I completely changed not just your name, but also your appearance and even the job you do. Because the Sun were super paranoid about getting sued by this particular one because of my description of her. They thought, this bitch is going to sue us.
Wow.
Because she had certain connections, put it that way. And it was a extramarital affair. It was like a really potentially really embarrassing thing for somebody of her stature.
Oh my
and she had a kind of a public facing thing going on. And but she was just like, hey, nobody I know is going to be reading that. If they do, they're not going to get it, and I'll just deny it. It's fine. I'm like, so I told the editor, hey, she's cool with it. Goes, no, you need to have her. She needs to read it and then tell me and say it's cool.
Oh,
and I said, hey,
wow.
Read it. And she goes, yeah, okay, I read it. It's cool. It made me feel kind of strange about everything, but whatever.
Well, because she's seeing it from your perspective then, right?
Yeah. But she was good about it.
Oh, now I kind of want to read this.
Yeah, you should read it. It's good. Love your enemies.
All right.
I was like a super. The conceit is I was a super liberal. I guess just a really down Main Street liberal. Just I wasn't that political, but I just believed everything that was coming out of that side of the fence or that side. And she was not just a conservative, but actively working in the conservative movement.
That does not sound like a girl you would take up with.
Yeah, that was why I wrote an essay about it, because it was different. It was,
wow.
She was slumming. I think she just wanted something different. Certain things weren't working out.
Okay.
Her youth pastor husband was just coming up short.
Oh. Wow.
I probably said too much right there.
Oh, boy.
And that's probably not even in the essay.
Are we gonna cut now?
No.
Okay.
We don't have.
If anybody's getting sued, it's the Sun, not us.
Yeah, it's the Sun's fault. They made me say this. All right, let's move on. All right. Enough of that. That was Call Her Mommy. What's
I think I just have one more idea.
I have three more. Should I do one more Okay. We all know that crime podcast, true crime, is
huge.
Oh, huge! Yeah. Everybody's doing it.
Yep.
And so, could we incorporate that a little bit more into the podcast?
We get like.
What about this? The smoking kills vehicular homicide. That hasn't been really solved to my.
Wait,
Let's-
really? It hasn't?
Well,
We
I don't know, but I think we should solve it. We should crack the case.
Amazing.
You know?
We'd be the #1 podcast in LeClaire.
Yeah. We'd be like, hey, as far as I know, she's still walking free.
Do I get to smoke Camel Lights and like look like a police detective?
You could do that if you
Oh,
want.
I do.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
already picturing it in my head.
All right. So we're gonna do it.
And we're gonna do like the the opening scene.
The
to
smoking
Law and Order.
kills murder.
Yeah,
We'll call it
I'm gonna have
murder.
the sunglasses on, smoking a Camel Light. Go. You know what they say? Smoking kills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want the Law and Order music too. Dum,
Yeah.
dum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I'm in.
So we'll do that, and then after that, we solve that one. We'll just solve LeClaire crimes.
That's it.
Some
Full
kid-
stop. That's
There's all kids are egging people's houses left and right,
those little bastards.
and you know what happens?
Yeah, people release the Ring videos and ask whose kid is this.
Well, there's that, but also the egg's dry, and you have to you can't just wipe it off. Apparently, according to everything
that was ever said since we were growing up, and I never knew if that was really the case.
everything. Our podcast could just go to what is that? What's the website? My Neighbor, or it's that?
Neighborhood.
Is that just called Neighborhood?
I don't know.
No, it's called something.
It's annoying.
It's a social media.
Right.
It's like Facebook, but for the neighbor.
Right, which
It's terrible.
it's really dumb.
Oh, it's just
Come on here. Come on
yeah.
to this show and defend
It's
yourself.
the worst people.
Yeah.
They're just complaining about
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
And here's my favorite complaint of people in LeClaire on that is this empty lot behind my house that's owned by somebody.
Yeah.
They're putting houses on it. This has got to stop.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people aren't allowed to put stuff on the
No.
property they
No.
own
Why are
because
they
I
putting
want it. Yeah.
Yeah, why are they putting a house up?
Yeah.
Who okayed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They think that it's the job of the government to stop people
We
from
could
developing
solve
their.
that crime.
We could.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the solving crime in LeClaire. Yeah. You know, I feel like in the last few years, it's died off. Teepeeing of houses.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, it still happens.
Is it still
I don't know
going
if it
on?
happens a lot.
Yeah,
but it
because
happens.
now you get the notification on the phone, right? Because do you have a Ring doorbell?
No.
Then you're getting teepeed at some point. I know. Yeah, it's
I
so
don't
the
know
entry to
about
the
that.
club of not getting teepeed is $120.
Yeah.
But I feel like for my
It's not
kid,
a
it's
lot
a
of
rite
money.
of passage to have to go clean it up.
We'll see.
I grew up on, out.
I
in the
live in
middle
the
of nowhere.
neighborhood where there are no kids. Everybody's like 80.
I lived in a neighborhood that the road back to where I lived was about 3/4 of a mile. There was literally no kids. All the houses were like 2 and 3 acre lots in the woods. It was horribly boring,
Yeah.
which is why I live in Iowa now.
Because it's
Well, I live
exciting.
I live in town. I grew up 8 miles from the town I grew up in St. Charles. Hey, ding.
yeah.
STC. And out properly in the middle of nowhere. And that's why, as a kid, I always thought, you know what? Living in town would just be oh my God, that would be amazing. Now,
Yeah.
a town of 6,000 people, like where I live,
Yeah.
would have been an upgrade for me.
Yeah.
My parents were like, why would you ever want to live where you can see your neighbors' houses?
Yeah. There are some reasons why.
Well, so we had giant trees,
Yeah.
and I got teepeed once.
Yeah.
And it was, my parents were out of town, and I still know who the fuckers were. I think I do, but nobody ever admitted it.
Oh, that's
And
the crime.
They went up huge trees that we had. It was covered.
Wow.
It was in the fall, and I was like, I'm going to have to go clean all this up. So I picked up a bunch of stuff on the ground. I was like, how am I going to get all this out of the trees? And I was like, you know what? If I just light the toilet paper, it's going to go up and burn out of the trees. Never did I think.
That was going to burn the tree.
Never. And you know what? I actually got a fire extinguisher from the garage.
Yeah.
Because as it started going up the toilet paper that was hanging from 30 feet up in the air,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I might burn this tree down. Not thinking that, of course, it's a live tree. It's not going to burn down.
No, I don't think it would have. It would have hurt the tree, though. I don't think the tree wanted to get burned.
Toilet paper just went, whoop, done. And
It worked.
And it worked. It was awesome.
Problem solving.
Yep. We should do more problem solving on this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's a good
Like,
idea.
that was a fucking awesome life hack that I nearly shit myself when I saw.
But then it worked.
But then it worked. 17-year-old me was pretty thrilled.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Hey, man.
Yep.
That's the
And not
same
that my
you
parents
that is
would've
now.
cared, by the way. I don't. That's the part I never. I was really freaking out that I had to get it done. Like I was cleaning up from a party. That
No,
wasn't
you
a
didn't do
party.
anything wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you were that kind of guy.
I was. Yeah. All right.
All right, you want to do, you said you have one more?
Yeah, I would like to do an entire episode where we talk about your goth girlfriend.
Yeah, right.
I cannot believe you just glossed over that earlier. You're like, I was at an LA club with my goth girlfriend, and I pretty sure I heard like the record scratch in here. Did you had a goth girlfriend? Did she?
That's right.
Like lots of white makeup.
Yeah. Black hair, white makeup.
What music?
I don't
Are we
know.
allowed to say, or are we gonna get sued?
No, The Cure, I'm sure. I don't know. I mean,
Who doesn't like The Cure though? Right?
yeah, everybody did. I
Right.
guess all the goth stuff, the Joy Division, The Cure, Bauhaus.
I
She
guess
was into
The
that.
only one that I know is The Cure.
And there were other bands besides The Cure that were in that genre.
For goth kids from my era, they were ninners. Listen to 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of gothy.
I was into
trench
9
coats.
Inch Nails, but 9 Inch Nails they kind of captured some of the metal
Oh yeah,
people because it was hard. So yeah, they were.
Talented.
I loved 9 Inch
Yeah.
Nails.
They're
Yep.
good. Trent Reznor.
Yep. Good old Trent.
Come on this show.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're not a coward though.
Well, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't say anything that.
Not yet.
Yeah, I hope he
Yeah.
does.
Right.
Hope he dares to
All right.
end up. So I have one more.
Oh God, it's
How did it get dark all of a sudden?
well. The sun is, setting.
Really? But it just got dark suddenly. Somebody turned off the light, didn't they?
I don't think there's any lights on in here.
Huh. Well,
If this
you're
was-
listening to the
this-
podcast without the video, you're missing
missing
out on
In-
whatever's going on.
In December, it would have been dark for 3 hours by now.
Yeah.
It's only 6:15.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, it's longer. Later.
So I only have one more, and so I'll just get to it.
Best for last.
So one of the most popular podcasts of all time. It's been around forever. And I have to say it's pretty mediocre, and if they don't like
Which
it,
one?
it's called Stuff You Should Know.
Oh,
It's just, I listened to it for a while, but it's so bland. It's just like Wikipedia in podcast
it's
form.
the Cheerios of breakfast cereals.
It really is.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't like
but it can be entertaining.
you know where we are.
Yeah, you
You know,
can come right the fuck on
come
out.
on over.
Yeah,
You know, we'll
Exactly.
just see how you can handle the Riverview Roadhouse, because your kind of vanilla style isn't going to roll that well
right,
here.
right,
You know.
right.
So, but I was thinking, how about
I've listened to a lot of those, by the way. They're great
stuff?
for killing
How about
time.
stuff you shouldn't know? And then we'll do things like,
Like
how
crazy.
to engineer like viruses
Yeah.
and how to make atomic
bring
bombs,
someone in from Wuhan.
or like a dirty bomb.
Yeah.
And what are some other good ones?
Oh God.
How to get away with murder.
Stuff you shouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean it's the question. Just it goes on, and so
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Stuff you should not
yeah,
know.
yeah, and
'Cause there's
the
a
algorithm
stuff-
will just put us near stuff you should know.
Right.
And some people will think they're getting the one, but they're getting the other.
We'll make
but
it
by
work.
that time,
Yeah. Exactly. We're gonna go with a slightly different shade of red.
yeah,
Yeah.
and and then people will be, whoa, that's truly fucked up.
It is.
We shouldn't be doing. I shouldn't know that.
Yeah, I shouldn't know
And
that.
now I know it.
Right.
Can't unknow it. Can't unring that bell.
Oh, that's
And-
ending on a high note right there. I
Yeah.
like that. Oh,
And
wow.
that's it. So those are some ideas. I don't think we can
Right.
do them all.
Not with that attitude, we can't.
We could do some, maybe. Well, we have another.
Do or do not. There is no.
We
time.
have another season
Yep.
coming up, and
We
we're going to
do.
break for our break.
Yep.
After this, you out there listening and watching, you're not going to notice any
You
break.
won't.
It's just going to keep on cruising.
You lucky bastards. Wait.
Yeah.
No.
You
We're the-
unlucky fools.
Yeah.
You bots that
It's true.
are.
I think there's some of that.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. How do bots
Should I
listen to us?
change the floor mat to 10 instead of 12?
Yes.
From
Yeah, right.
yeah.
You have to even fewer. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
It's depressing. All right, everybody.
All right.
Is that it? Did we have anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, let's. Whoa. All right.
Whoa, you're forgetting the.
Yeah, I did that. These little kind of lo-fi touches are what people love about us.
True.
You know, we're not all fancy. We're not in some studio like
I still
some
like
other
that you-
podcast that
Yeah.
I know that I won't mention.
It's true.
And
I like that you do the tech stuff on this. You're the one in charge of the. 'cause I
yeah,
don't.
the worst one
I
at
want to be
it.
at work.
We're the
Yeah.
worst one at it.
No, I
and
don't
you're
want to do it.
well, and also we're there's an efficiency thing going on. We're against it.
Yes.
We're pretty inefficient, and we're against success.
Really good reasons for both of those things. Must be famous.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. See y'all.